Also, I'm sorry, I'm yapping so much that I know there's like a ton of questions going by, but I will dial in and try to answer as many as possible. Am I friends with Zach K? I tried to link up with him when I was in Thailand, but he was in a different part of Thailand, and then I ended up going to Bali instead, so I never ended up seeing him, which was super sad because I would have loved to see him in Thailand. That would have been so cool. For monetizing content, the primary way that I monetize content is through brand deals, but the way in which I do it is a lot of content creators will have basically just deals that come inbound to them. And that does happen to me too, but I feel like most of the deals that come inbound are not the deals that I actually want. I don't want to take deals with random companies that I do not use, love, or believe in their product or have even tried it, right? So for me, what I do on the inverse is I will go out and hunt for the companies and the products that I want to work with. Those end up being the majority of my brand deals. And then if other things come in the door that are also products that I like and use, and they just happen to reach out to me first, great, I'll do those too. But I'm very like specific with my values around the kind of products and companies that I support. Do I regret Love Island? No regrets in life. There was a time in the last year where I felt shame around the time that I spent on Love Island. Not because of anything that I did while on the show, but just because it felt so different than the life that I was living before. And I felt like the way that people viewed me changed significantly from the people that really only knew me before were people that were quite close to me. And so they saw me for the person that I felt like I actually was, versus obviously you go on a show, and especially a show that is so centered around like looks and dating and all of these different things, people tend to see you under that light. And I think because of that, I ended up having a lot of shame around it. I've since done a lot of self-work on that, and I no longer feel that way, which is, I'm very happy to say. Which is why I feel comfortable like tapping back into that world again and talking to everyone again and talking about it again more, because I did try to make a very hard left outside of like everything Love Island and just go purely for health and wellness, content creation, running marathons, and all the things that I do really, really love. But I recognize that it is a part of my story and an important part of my story. I wouldn't be able to do any of the things that I do right now that I love so dearly had I not had that experience, right? It's a part of my journey. It's a part of the learning that I went through in life, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today, which is a person I am very happy with, had I not gone through that experience. Hope you get what I mean by that. Oh, damn. TikTok really just be scrolling these comments on me. I can't even read them. Do my curly hair routine right now. It's pretty simple. I get it wet, assuming like I've already done the shampoo and conditioner and all that stuff. I get it wet. I put in pretty much one product. It's called Wavy. That's it. That's all I do. The majority of the time. Unless I'm like running or doing other things, then I'll use sometimes other products too. Would I go on Love Island USA again? No, I think one time was plenty for me. Not really my thing. I don't think I'd ever do a dating show ever again, to be honest with you. Unless 5 years from now, like I'm getting close to 30 and I still have had like zero luck, which I do not see being the case. I'm seeing someone right now that I really like. I don't think that there's going to be a chance that I end up on another dating show. Am I running the Chicago Marathon? That is the goal for the year. My goal is to run the Chicago Marathon and hopefully go sub 3 there. I've heard it's a very fast course. So that is the goal. But I have done so many races this year. My body is so destroyed. So I really have to dial in on some recovery and some training to get to that point. But the Chicago Marathon is definitely on my list. The New York City Marathon as well is on my list. I had such a good time last year. But this time I would party pace it. I would just have fun with it. Am I Jewish? Yes, I am Jewish. This is the Jewfro. Am I investing in plans for after content creation? Yeah. I think this is one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about either content creators themselves don't realize, or people that watch content creators don't realize. Content creators make good money, but a lot of content creators spend just as much money as they are making to keep up with this, let's call it inspirational lifestyle, right? And because of that, it's very hard to have plans for after content. I am taking that stuff very seriously. Luckily for me, I have a very business competent background. I'm comfortable with all that stuff. I've been saving for years. I know how to put money away. I know how to invest money. So the overwhelming majority of my income gets saved and invested. And then the rest is done fun for operational, for business stuff. And that's pretty much it. I'm not really a big spender, to be honest with you guys. I'm a very practical person. My parents raised me to just be very, very practical. When I was a kid, we had to pay for all of our own phone bills from the moment we had to pay for our phone when we wanted to get a phone. When I was in grade 8, I had to buy my own phone, and then I had to pay my parents $25 every single month in order to have an actual working phone line. So I grew up knowing the value of money, and because of that, my relationship with money is, I would say, pretty good, at least on the saving side and the, not spending it. But I do have to get better at treating myself when I do have, success or close a big deal or, have something to celebrate. I find it sometimes challenging to spend money on myself. I like to spend money on other people, family, friends. I love giving gifts to people, but I just struggle to spend money on me. Why am I not on TikTok live as much? 2 reasons, I would say. One, I just have been traveling a lot, and that makes it harder to do something like this consistently. And then 2, for a while after the show, I think I just had a really challenging relationship with myself and with the Love Island identity. And because of that, it was really hard for me to be able to actually talk on it and feel comfortable. And because of that, I kind of took a step back from at least the live content. But honestly, I'm really fucking enjoying this right now. This is a lot of fun. Curls for the girls. I'm just Jewish. How long was I in the hotel before going into the villa? I think I was in the hotel by far the longest out of anyone. I was in that for 3.5 weeks with no phone and no connection to the outside world and not knowing when I was going to go in. I was just on standby for 3.5 weeks. I was crashing out. My journal, I was actually, funny enough, I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I was by far the most profound journal I've ever written in my entire life was that time, those 3.5 weeks inside the villa, or inside the hotel room before going into the villa, where I didn't have a phone or any connection to the outside world. And my friend was like, you should take that experience and everything that happened there and turn it into a book, because that would be so interesting to read. Grayson, I miss you too. When I'm back in the US later this summer, we have to link up. I want to be very clear that my entire social media presence has absolutely nothing to do with politics And if you want to have discussions about politics, I would suggest you take those discussions elsewhere to political pages. What did I learn from Love Island? Honestly, I think one of the biggest things that I learned from Love Island was needing to trust my gut. I think that in an environment that's like really stressful, where you don't have like the support of your friends and family and people to call when things start to go wrong. Like imagine you're in the real world, right? You're going through a breakup. Who are you going to call? Your best friends, your family, whatever, you know? You're interested in someone and you're trying to figure out like, what are the next steps? Who are you going to call? Best friend, family, all of these things, right? When you remove that, it changes the game. And because of that, you have to put a higher amount of reliance on yourself. And I think that is probably the biggest thing that I learned from the show, is that I needed to trust myself, trust my gut, rely on myself. Yeah. What is this ring? So for anyone that's Canadian, you guys might know what this ring is. But in Canada, there is a tradition for engineers. If you graduate from the engineering program, you get this thing that's called an iron ring. It's supposed to remind you of your duty as an engineer, to that if you mess up on your job, people can die. Basically, it relates back to the story in Canada. Some engineers built a bridge made out of iron. It collapsed. People died. And because of that, they took the iron from that bridge and turned it into these rings. Sorry, looks like some people here need to get blocked or muted. There we go. That's better. What is the curl routine? I would say most important part of the curl routine is how often you wash it and just generally taking care of it. So for me, I don't put any heat on my hair. I don't blow dry my hair. I don't straighten my hair or do anything like that. Even like if you're to go in a sauna or something like that, you have to protect the curls. 2, I try not to shampoo my hair very often because that strips the natural oils of the hair. Luckily, I have very naturally healthy hair, so it doesn't get too oily. But if I shampoo it a lot, it'll just strip the oils. And then 3 is just condition it and put in good quality products. That's pretty much it. This is another reason why doing lives is challenging. You can drink on Love Island, but they only let you to have 2 drinks every single night, and they can't be more than it's like 2 fingers in the glass. It's like not very much. I personally don't drink. I haven't drank in probably like 2 or 3 years. So the entire Love Island show I did without a single drop of alcohol, which I feel like made it maybe harder, but what's in Iceland? A lot of like volcanoes and things like that. Honestly, I discovered that today. I had no plans to be here in Iceland, but I decided to rent a car for the day because I got stuck here because of a connecting flight. And it's honestly a pretty beautiful landscape. There's a lot of like very adventurous things to do. Will I ever use my engineering degree? I mean, most of my career so far has been using my engineering degree. Now in this new world of content creation that I'm doing, my engineering degree, I think, still comes in handy. It's like naturally just a problem solving really degree is what it is. but I do plan to get back into that world of things. I've always been like entrepreneurial on the side. I love like building things and startups and all of that kind of stuff. So I think long term, that's still gonna be my plan. Content creation is like a good thing to do at the same time as that, and it can, one of them can support each other. But really, I want to build something that is hopefully in service of others and helping people. What it is yet, I'm not sure. I really do love, like, if you've watched my content before, you know I speak a lot about mental health. Mental health is something that's very important to me. And because of that, I think that that's an area of interest for me of like where I would like to potentially start building a company. But I think I'm still a little bit of ways from that. I got to come up with the idea and really figure out what that's going to look like for me. But that would be when I would use my engineering degree again. Do I still hang out with cast members? Absolutely. Like, I think a good chunk of the friends. I honestly have just been traveling so much recently that I haven't really had the opportunity to. But later this year, I'm planning on being back in the US, and I'll be spending more time with some of the other friends. And I got a flight to catch tomorrow morning. But I really enjoyed doing the live again. It's been such a long time, and I look forward to doing it again soon. All right. Love you guys.
Love Island season Love Island USA season 7, that is cast Elan Bibas, goes live and shares live updates and feels happy about going back to start up some good live streaming. So comment, like, share, and also subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.